I'm Paige Spizak.
And I'm Eric Hultgren, and we're with Visit Detroit, and we are hanging out in downtown Detroit to light the tree behind us.
And tonight we're going to be talking with influencers from Detroit and around Michigan
To find out why the holidays and this city are so special to them. Next on the Michigan's Best Podcast. Taylor, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am so happy to be here with you because obviously we're talking about Detroit and you are the human to talk about what makes this city so special. I mean, it's obviously in its peak beauty right now, at least as far as the winter season goes. And so for people who are visiting, what makes this place this special this time of year?
Oh, well, people always think about some other major cities when you think about seeing the holiday lights, but Detroit has a very unique sense of grit and honesty to the city that people just don't think about at first bet. So when you visit Detroit, you're not just visiting the beautiful decorations, you're also visiting the people. There's a real humanity that we bring that brings a real electricity to the city that a lot of other places just don't have. So that's what you're really getting when you visit Detroit.
And what I think is interesting, Taylor, is coming here in the summertime for the Monroe Street Midway, and then you come here now, and to your point, the energy is the same. It's just the temperature's a little bit different, but the energy is the same. Let's talk about you, though. How did this all start for you? How did this kind of love affair with Detroit and kind of sharing the story, how did that start?
Well, I'm a native Detroiter. I grew up at 7 Mile and Woodward. Both my parents are native Detroiters. Shout out to Cass Tech alum, even though I didn't go there. I'm the daughter of 2 Cass Tech alums. So Detroit is just a place that gave my entire family refuge. You know, my family was able to come here from the segregated Jim Crow era South. This is a city that's given black people amazing opportunity that other places wouldn't. So it's always been in my blood, my essence, my energy to always represent Detroit in all different forms. And that was really important to me going into the Big Brother house as well. That's taking that grit, that honor of heritage as well.
What was that whole process like for you, right? Because when you're in it, you can't really talk about it. When you get out of it, you can sort of kind of share the story. But you don't need to do any of. I'm not looking for any dirt, but like. As somebody who creates content for a living and shares stories for a living, did you enjoy that process, or was it just kind of like a grind to get to the end of it? What was that all like for you?
You know, it's all of the above, which sounds like such a cop-out answer, I know. But when you're in the Big Brother house, you're literally just living your exact life on 24/7 cameras. So yes, some days are a grind, but other days you're having unbelievable peaks and highs that you just don't feel like you're gonna have. Even looking back at my journey, I'm known to have a crazy roller coaster of a ride, but I think back to the times where I really enjoyed myself and had hard laughs, and I think I've laughed harder in that house than I've ever laughed in my entire life, and I'm grateful for it.
So, right before it starts, right, you find out you're on the show, you're gonna be part of the cast, what's going through your brain? What are you thinking, oh, this is crazy, or I can't wait to get in this, or I'm sure it's probably both of those things, but what were you thinking before you went in?
So you have no idea if you're actually going to be on the cast or not until the day that they take you away. And then you get sequestered for me, it was 12 days. So I had one phone call, I called my grandma, then I took my phone and said, all right, your plane leaves in 2 hours and you will not have any contact with the outside world until up to 90 days from now. So it's unbelievable. You think, okay, did I set up all my credit cards on time? Is auto pay gonna happen? And then when you're walking into the house, the moment when you first see Julie Chen Moonves and she says, welcome house guests, it is an insane adrenaline rush because you don't know if you're going to be the best or the worst version of yourself. And luckily, I ended up being the best version of myself.
That's awesome. All right, so there's a lot of people who are coming here for the first time to enjoy all of this stuff. And you, as someone who celebrates Detroit and has represented Detroit on Big Brother and all that stuff, where should they go? What's the first place if they're only staying for this weekend? What should they check out, or at least not leave the city without trying this?
Ooh, okay. Well, look, the classic answer is you gotta go to Buddy's Pizza, you gotta get the Coney Dog. But on top of all of that, my favorite thing to do is to go to Louisiana Creole Gumbo and go to Belle Isle. Now I know it's cold right now, but it's still beautiful views of the Canadian border. You get to see a really unique gem that a lot of people don't realize we have here.
All right, Taylor. One last question. I'll let you get back in that tent and get warmed up. Is there a give me a pro tip of a place that locals go that tourists would never think to go, right? Buddy's Pizza, okay. Coney Dogs, okay. Belle Isle, okay. But what's a place that you go that they would never think to check out that you're like, this place is super dope?
Ooh, okay. I'm trying not to give away too many secrets so people don't steal all my good stuff.
Don't ruin it, but if there's one that you could share.
You know what? I'm going to tell people to go to right on Livernois. Ooh. It's getting fun over here. I'm going to tell people to go to Livernois because that's where you'll find an amazing different set of boutiques that you can do some really unique shopping from a bunch of local-owned, black-owned businesses. So hit up the Avenue of Fashion, 7 Mile in Livernois. It's the best place to go.
Taylor, if people want to find you on the internet, where do they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram or on TikTok at the Taylor Mack, Mack spelled M-A-C-K, or on Twitter where we don't know if it's still going to be around, at the Tay-Mac. So.
In the current form, you can find you on Twitter.
But in the current form.
In the fire sale next week, who knows where we'll find you.
No.
Taylor, thank you for the time. Have a wonderful holiday
Thanks
season.
so much. You too. Stay warm, bud.
I will. See ya.